In today's tutorial, we're going to talk about my favorite tool for learning music theory. This is a must-have, and it's something that I recommend to every single person that I'm working with that wants to have a better understanding of music theory. The Keith Snell Fundamentals of Piano Theory series. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why music theory is so important for your piano journey. And I'm also going to open up the Keith Snell books and give you an idea of what's inside and how they work, so that if you want to start to improve your music theory, you have the knowledge to do so. Music theory is all about pattern recognition. A great way to conceptualize this is if you think about learning how to read music, kind of like learning how to speak or read in the English language, we have the recognition of various building blocks at various points. So when you first set out to learn how to read music, you start with note naming and you start to learn how to read notes on the staff. That's like your letter recognition when you're learning the individual letters of the alphabet. It's the starting point, but you want to be able to move beyond that if you want to be able to actually read in the English language. So after you learn individual letters of the alphabet, then you start to learn combinations. So like SH says sh, TH says th. And that's kind of like intervals in music. You start to learn seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths. You start to be able to recognize those on the page and maybe how they feel in your hand. You might even start to develop a recognition for the way that they sound when you play them. And then if you're learning in English, you go on and you start to learn sight words like the and she and he. And in music, this would be like maybe some of the very basic chords like C major or G major. And you start to be able to recognize things that you're seeing over and over and over again. If you keep going along this path with the English language, you'll eventually get to the point that you can open up a really long, complex book that has words that you might not have ever even seen before, but you know how to sound them out and you know how to piece it all together because you've built on those little patterns. And the same is true with music. We have to learn those patterns and then learn the next pattern and build upon those. And if you're just opening up pieces of music and you're stuck in this stage of seeing individual notes and individual pieces of information and not being able to recognize patterns, it's going to be a longer and much more complicated journey for you than if you take the time to be able to recognize the patterns. When you study music theory, you start to be able to recognize and identify these patterns. And the more you do it and the more you study it, especially if you apply it to your pieces when you practice, the easier it becomes for you to open up a piece of music, recognize a bunch of patterns, and have a context for what they mean. And I love this series because it starts at the preparatory level, the very beginning, and it goes all the way through level 10. So it's a series that is set up to meet you where you are. It's also a book series that is set up to work as an addition to an existing practice routine. So you can use it alongside any other books that you have or alongside any other pieces that you're learning. The books are not thick. They're each about 60 to 70 pages. So it's not like a giant overwhelming textbook. Every single book is split up into units, and each unit is going to cover a different topic. So for example, in the preparatory level, unit 1 is note values, so all about rhythm. Unit 2 is all about the staff and how to read notes on the staff. Unit 3 is all about note naming and getting more comfortable with that. Then we go into time signatures and all sorts of other really great things, but you have defined units to work on those topics, and then the next unit will build on top of the previous unit. These books are also really, really comprehensive. So if you were to start at some point, like let's say preparatory, or even if you were to start somewhere after the preparatory level, if you work yourself all the way through unit 10, you're going to get about through a freshman level college music theory class. So they take you pretty far. Each book is comprehensive, but not complicated. All of the information is organized in a very cohesive way, and there are answer keys available. And so I'm going to link the theory books, but also the answer keys in the description below. And that way, if you're learning on your own, you can get the theory book and work yourself through it, but you can also get the answer book and double check and make sure that you are in fact getting the answers correct. Thank you so much to the people that show up and watch these tutorials and comment on the videos. I absolutely love getting to know you. And if you've been learning from any of the videos that I put out, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and share the link to this video on your social media page so that other people can learn this important information as well. My last favorite part about these books is they do a fantastic job of taking all of the theoretical concepts and tying them together. So at the end of the book in the review test, or in one of the later units, you'll often be presented with a piece of music and you'll be asked to identify the different symbols or the different patterns that you've learned throughout the book. And this gives you a really great chance to take all of the music theory concepts and actually apply them to getting to know a piece better. This is the missing link that I often find with adult piano learners is if they're studying music theory on their own, they're studying music theory and it's kind of out here as this subject that exists all by itself. And making that connection between music theory and the actual pieces that you're studying is so essential, but it can be challenging to do all on your own. This series does that for you and helps you take those concepts that you're learning and apply them to actual pieces of music. And ultimately, that's going to help you practice smarter, not harder. It's not going to happen immediately, but through repeated and consistent study of music theory, what you're going to find is that you will be able to open up a piece of music and understand so much more of what's on the page so much faster once you're comfortable with some music theory concepts. Now, if you need help understanding what level of this series you should buy, or if you want some more information about music theory and you're not in my Facebook group already, get your booty on over there. It is amazing. At the point of filming this video, I'm getting ready to do another live challenge in March. These challenges are totally free. I go live every single day for a week and we really work on a certain topic. You get a chance to ask questions, you really get that accountability, and people make tons of progress in these challenges. So head on over there and join my free Facebook group. I look forward to getting to know you so much better over there.